Good evening, everyone. Today is the 10th of June, and it is 9:12 in the evening. I usually start at 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for waiting for me. I know you knew that I was coming. I just got a little bit delayed. I was so excited about today's topic and kind of tweaking the presentation at the last minute. I have to admit, I was diving very deep into the topic and then completely lost track of time, working on it a little bit last night. And this has been a topic and a subject that has been completely consuming me since my birthday. And you all know that my birthday was last Monday. Very important. I like to think of your birthday, and I hope you all think of it this way also, is a happy new year to you. So a happy new year to you wherever you are. And if you just had a birthday or you're just about to have a birthday, I'm going to encourage you to join in the birthday celebrations that I'm having, and I'm going to continue to have all month long. And I'm going to wrap you around this whole birthday goal setting, getting ready for a new year that I've been going through, because I think it's super important. So first things first, I want to welcome everyone from Southeast Asia. If you're joining us from Singapore or Malaysia or Vietnam or the Philippines, good evening. If you're joining us from Europe, good afternoon. And if you're joining us from the United States, good morning. This is our weekly webinar. So I'm going to actually share my screen with you because I think that's the fastest way to get started. Here we go. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Elena Jordan, and you may have seen this particular screen with the bergamot on it. It's my way of kind of introducing the concept, introducing the team, that this is our way of kind of regrouping, reconnecting, and establishing ideas each and every week. I'm actually going to be starting a new webinar at 8:30 in the evening U.S. time, so Eastern Daylight Time, which would be 8:30 in the morning for anyone in Southeast Asia, for just the next 12 weeks of summer. And it's going to be all about goal setting and getting to your goals, achieving your goals. I'm going to be talking a little bit about essential oils on those posts. Of course, what do we do to stay motivated? What products can we use, and so on. But the primary focus of those 12 weeks is going to be goal setting. And I'm going to dive in a little bit more and talk to you about it in just a minute. Okay, so I want to say thank you to our Presidential Alignment team. Each and every week you get on, you help your teams to get on. So incredibly proud of you, and also so grateful that everyone is here, that we can all celebrate together each week. The primary ideas from this presentation are taken from the book, Essential Oils Healthcare for Today. I know you're all super familiar with it, but it is the top 50 health issues from A to Z. And this guide, fondly known as the LRP book, is going to help you to achieve some of your team goals, if that's one of the things you're going to be talking about or writing down in your team as your goals for the year. Okay, so I want to start you off with this idea. You want to plan your year, design your days, and achieve your biggest goals. So what many of us do is on January 1st, we wake up after having had a raucous night out or a fun night out or night out with friends, whatever it is, and we begin to set our goals for the year ahead. And we've come to recognize this January 1st event as the way that we start our year, and we have our New Year's resolutions, and we feel perhaps this is a new year and a new start. Well, I'm going to turn the whole thing on its head, and I'm going to do it for two different reasons. Number one is I want you to think of the day of your birth. So the day of your birth is really the new year for you. So whether your birthday is in June or November or it passed a couple of months ago, I want to think of each year for you as your birthday and your year of renewal, the time that you're going to start. But for one of today's exercise, we're going to use June 1st. And the reason why we're going to use June 1st is because June in our business, June, July, and August are really our summer months. And I want you to help to really feel like you're planning out the summer that you want for yourself. So is it a summer of fun? Is it a summer of work? Is it a summer of relaxation? I want you to look at those next 3 months and really decide for yourself, what is it I'm doing or saying or preparing for in the future that I can make such a radical change for myself right now, which is why June 1st, while it's not the start of the third quarter, the start of the third quarter is July 1st, I would like us to look at June 1st because I think in our business it's important enough. Now, many of you, the people, I'm speaking directly to the people in Singapore right now. For those of you who have small children, many of you have kids that are out on holiday. And if you have your kids and they're home and you're enjoying this time with them, absolutely you should take time to enjoy your time with your children. But I'm going to invite you during that free time, if you will, to sit down and begin to look at, okay, what do I want for myself, my team, my family? And we're going to talk a lot about what types of goals you can set, how you're going to set them, things that can help you. Because I have to say, for me at least, I've always been super goal oriented, but I don't know if I was setting my goals specifically enough. And I want to continue to give you resources. And that's why I've set up the second Zoom call each morning for you in Southeast Asia and evening for us in the US, because I think goal setting is that important. Okay, so number one, we're going to talk about annual goals. And when we talk in the Zoom class, we're going to be talking about annual goals, weekly goals, how to write them down, and so on. But I think annual goals are really your most important. So you want to, number one, set powerful goals so you can start the process for achieving them. You don't want to set wishy-washy goals. You don't want to set a goal like, I don't know, water the plants each day. That's not a goal. That's a task. And we want to separate our goals from our tasks. I actually, within the last 2 weeks, sent out an sort of a blast email, if you will, or a text message to some of the coaches that I work with closely, my top team leaders, and I asked them to get back to me with their goals. And many of them responded, and I'm extremely grateful for them. And what's interesting is that the goals really fell into two different categories. Number one, they were goals that were stated, but not necessarily specific goals. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. And we're going to talk about what's a good goal and what's a bad goal. And now the other thing that I found was many of the goals were not goals. They were to-do lists, which is interesting. So several of the people who actually got back to me wrote things like, enroll more people, or enroll 10 people a month, or enroll, increase, get to a certain rank, or certain behaviors that they wanted to do. But because they didn't set parameters around it, or they didn't say that it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the goal was, it's going to be harder for them to achieve because it's missing those parameters. But let's look at step number one, at setting your annual goals. So number one is, what is the number one reason people fail to achieve their goals? And you could think it could be because they don't focus, or because they lack energy, or they don't have an accountability partner. But the number one reason actually is the lack of visibility. So what exactly does that mean? Lack of visibility means that they have a goal and they may be thinking about the goal. They might have even written the goal down on a piece of paper, but they don't see that paper again and again and again, so that they begin to think, yes, this is the thing that I really need to achieve. So visibility is extremely important. You actually either want to post your goals in a place that you're going to see them every day, or I'm going to challenge you to get yourself a goal planner. So a goal planner can be something that you keep on your phone. But I'm also going to suggest to you that you may need both things. You may need something that's electronic, which we all have our smartphones with us all the time. And believe me, I write tons of things on my smartphone, but also something that's on paper. Because that idea of actually the hand moving and writing the writing instrument to write down your goal, and then you seeing the goal in your own handwriting, rereading the goal on a regular basis can actually help you with cementing the goal in your mind, heart, and spirit, because that's what we really need when we want to achieve some sort of a goal. We want to see that goal, we want to feel that goal, we want to experience the goal, and we want to understand why the goal is important to us. Now, I will tell you, as I've gone through this experience of writing down goals and setting them up and so on, and writing them down and then writing the steps that I need to achieve the goals, I've actually had to tweak them a couple of times, because what I did, my first inclination was to write a laundry list. Absolutely, do this and this and this and this and this. And those are steps, and steps are great, but the steps have to lead towards something bigger. So we're going to start going through what the steps are and why that's important. Okay, so this is the book actually that I'm using, and I just started using it. It's called a Focus Planner. It works for me because it breaks down the goals into very minute detail. And you can see here, this is kind of a 2-page view of what the goals are. And this is only page 7. Doesn't mean that it has hundreds of pages of goals. But the book is broken down in a way that has the goals in the front, and then the action steps a little further back, and then daily calendars. Many of you know that I've used time blocking for years, and this particular planning has a way for me to more easily do time blocking. This particular setup is not important. What's important is that you find something that will work for you. So you can buy a 10-cent notebook in your pharmacy when they go on sale right before school starts. And I know in Singapore you're on holiday, so I'm sure notebooks are on sale right now. So if you need just a notebook, but these are the types of things that I want to see when you're talking about your goals, when you're looking at your goals, what it is you're including. And this particular focus planner can be found at focusplanner.com. A gentleman named Michael Hyatt, Hyatt, and my hat goes off to Michael Hyatt, as they say in French, chapeau bas, that he prepared this, thought it through. He's a gentleman who's a little older than I am. He was a CEO of a big company, and all of the ideas about goal setting and planning really are not only based on what he said, but also have been tweaked. I've had a lot of experience doing goal planning over my, I don't even know how many years of working, but he kind of helped to codify all those ideas, put them in one place. There's some wonderful videos. I absolutely recommend that you pursue more information about his programs and just the ideas that he has, because they're really, really good. Okay, step 1. What are your goals for the remainder of 2019? We're at the halfway mark, folks. We have just passed the halfway mark. We have 6 months left to go. You can be drifting for the rest of the summer and then arrive in September and be totally surprised by it, be rushing to send your kids back to school. If you're a grandma, you may be noticing, oh my gosh, my kids, everybody left and now I'm here by myself. If you're intending to go to convention, then you're busy packing up, trying to figure out what it is you're going to do or not do. That's not a way to live your life, because what happens is when we just allow ourselves to kind of drift from activity to activity, or just allow everything external to set our goals for us, we begin to feel dissatisfied, and we begin to feel that we're not getting out of life what we are meant to get out of it. The other thing is, and on a purely spiritual basis, I truly believe that God has called us, for each one of us, for a special job. And I think when we sit down and we look at our goals, we can begin to see what some of those jobs or purposes are. Now, when I sat down with my goal planner, one of the things that I talked about to myself was goals for my family. And we're going to talk about how you can categorize your goal. But I want you to step back right now and think to yourself, what are your goals for the remainder of 2019? So you want to, you should say step number 2, list your goals by category. Are they spiritual, intellectual, emotional, physical, marital? And that could be if you're single or you're married, right? Parental, social, vocational, avocational, and or financial. Now, you don't have to have a goal in every single category. You may not have a goal in a single category this year, and that's okay. So when we talk about spiritual goals, we might talk about something like having a regular prayer routine, or attending services on a regular basis, or reading a spiritual book on a regular basis. Talk about intellectual goals. We might be talking about taking a course, or doing more reading, or joining a book club, or learning something that you haven't already, stimulating your mind in a way that you had not previously done it. It could be something like learning a language, which is usually very personal, or something more business related. But intellectual basically means building our minds. Emotional goals: do you have a problem with anger perhaps? Or do you want to bond with people? Or do you want to learn a certain emotional skill, or decrease something that you've been doing hastily? There's where your emotional goals are going to go. Physical goals, super easy. We're talking about losing or not losing weight, maybe joining a gym or some other sort of exercise routine, maybe eating or drinking in a certain way that we haven't been as mindful as we were before. Also challenging ourselves perhaps with sporting events. Physical goals can be a wonderful way for us to set goals for ourselves. Marital goals, this is an interesting one. So I'm talking to my married people now, but I'm also talking to my single people, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute. Married people, do you need to be setting regular dates with your spouse? Can you basically put together a schedule, maybe once a month? You plan something fun. So I'm going to tell everybody a big secret. So one of my husband's favorite singers is this guy named Juan Luis Guerra, and he loves him and he follows him actively. And ever since we were first married, he was just loves his music. In fact, some of his music was played at our wedding. And I just found out that he's going to be having a concert right near our house. And so what did I do? I got him tickets for his birthday. So don't tell. But it made me so happy to be able to do that. I cannot even tell you. It was just the idea of doing it. It was so special to me, and I can't wait till he sees the tickets. I'll let you know because his birthday's coming up. But marital can be setting an appointment to go out with your spouse. If you're single, it can be challenging yourself and you want to have a significant other. Maybe you don't. Challenging yourself to go out to places where you can meet people. It can be setting up a profile for yourself on a social website or a dating site. Those can be your marital goals. Now, if you're involved in a relationship and it's going along fine, this might be an area where you're not really setting up any sort of goals, at least right now, but I'm going to challenge you to think creatively. Parental goals. Okay, so sometimes parental goals actually can take over our lives. If you're a parent, you know that sometimes everything having to do with our child can just become overwhelming. If you have more than one child, I know there are people that are listening to me now that have 2, 3, 4, and more children, and their parental goals can be very, very big and sometimes overwhelming. I'm going to challenge you to break down those parental goals, maybe by child, maybe by the whole family. If you are a homeschooling mom, what are your goals as a parent for your children? If you are a mother of a single child, what's your goal for getting that child to his or her next level? What's your role? And within the next 6 months, how do you see that role? So I will tell you, at least in the summer months, it's a lot about preparing my kids for the next level. So in the United States, so I'm just explaining this a little bit for people outside of the US, usually June, July, and August are our summer and our time out of school. And that can vary depending on what region you're in. June and July, my daughter is off from school, but goes back to college in August. I feel like it's my goal to help my kids to have a productive summer and also to be ready to get to that next level. And now I know as a parent what each one of them needs. I happen to have 2 children. What do they need? Do they need structure? Do they need activity? Do they need relaxation? What are the skills that they need to learn between now and September. I'll just give you one particular skill that I'd like both of them to learn is how to drive a manual transmission car. The reason for that is that my daughter is living in Texas now for most of the year, and she often has to drive long distances. I prefer that she's not driving an automatic transmission because I know when, and those of you who drive a manual transmission, I'm sure will back me up, when you drive a manual transmission car, you have to focus as you change gears, as you depress the clutch, and then the brake and the gas. You have to coordinate your efforts. You have to think. You have to stay conscious. Super important. So I'm actually having both of them take lessons in driving a manual transmission because I feel it's an important life skill. And so for me, that's a parental goal that I have for myself. And I've set the time. I've set the lessons when they're going to take it. Super important. Social goals. How connected are you to your community? Now this can be, I choose to invite people over to my house, or I'm going to make a coffee date or a lunch date. I actually made a list last night of 15, actually in my case, they were all women that I haven't seen in a while, actually that I haven't seen probably in the last 6 months since the Christmas holidays, that I'd really like to see again. I like these women. They're super fun. Most of them have daughters that are friends with my daughter, and I'd really like to reconnect with them. I don't want more time to go by. So for me, that's a social goal. Vocational. Okay, this is where your work goals go. And these can be broad, big, small, but don't let your vocational goals take over your whole life. Because if they do, you're going to feel out of balance. You want to make sure that you have just enough work goals that are going to challenge you, and maybe kind of a riskier or a challenging goal that has multiple steps that you can be working towards. But don't let all your goals be work goals. Avocational. Okay, so this is where your hobbies come in. Are you a gardener, a fly fisherman? Are you someone who likes to, sing perhaps, or write poetry? These are the things that enrich our lives. Maybe you'd love to go to museums. Maybe you're a person who loves to ride roller coasters. Whatever that thing is that makes you just feel good all over. When you do it, every time you do it, you just feel great. Make sure that you're setting a goal for yourself in your avocation. And maybe it means that you're going on a vacation or planning a small weekend away where you can pursue that avocation. So for example, one of my husband's brothers loves to do fly fishing. And I don't know anything about fly fishing, I have to tell you, but I do know it has something to do with standing in a river and throwing out a big line and waiting for the fish to kind of swim by. What I like about fly fishing is it's super peaceful. Usually it's done obviously outdoors, but usually in just the most magnificent scenery. And my brother-in-law, like all of his brothers, my husband included, very hard driving, hard working. And for him, his avocation is to go fly fishing. And each time he goes someplace different. So he's been to Alaska, and he's been to Argentina, and he's been to the Pacific Northwest, different places that really feed his emotion and feed his avocation, which makes us all richer, healthier, and happier. And finally, financial goals. Super easy, but also can be super complicated. These can be things like paying off our debt, getting out of credit card, cutting up your credit cards, saving for a future event, making sure that you have enough financial wherewithal for the future, for your retirement. It can also be other things like setting up a budget, getting onto a budgeting app, having those tough conversations with your spouse or with your children about how important teaching them financial goals and rules. So make sure that you're getting at the heart of whatever it is going to help your heart and your life to feel better and more productive at the end of these 6 months. Okay, so I want you to set only 7 to 10 annual goals. Too many goals is a recipe for failure. And it's very easy to start saying, oh, I want to go in this, and I want to go in that, and this other thing, and blah, 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 and on and on. But we just begin to see this as a mountain, and then what happens? We get discouraged, and we not only do we burn out, we basically quit, right? we quit because we feel disappointed. We feel like we can't do it. If we have too many goals, we want to quit. And I don't want you to quit. I want you to feel successful this year, and I want you to do things that make your heart sing. Okay, now, super important, goals should be smarter. Now, you can take a picture, a photograph of this slide if you want, but I'm going to go through it one by one. Smart goals are something that's been around for a long time. What Michael Hyatt talks about is something called a smarter goal, and I'll go over those with you in a minute. So obviously, goal has to be specific, not general or vague. So a good example would be, I want to learn photography, right? I'm sorry, a bad example would be, I want to learn photography. Too vague. Who even knows what that means? And a good example would be complete John Gringo's course in photography. Great. Totally measurable. There are courses that you can find on Udemy or other course selection sites. You can do a paid course, you could do a free course, or you could attend something at a local university. But the idea is that the goal is specific. Goals should also be measurable. You want to quantify the result that you want and add a number, a dollar figure, or a percentage. So a bad example would be earn more money. And a good example would be earn $10,000 more this year than I did last year. So the first thing would be to know exactly what you earned last year, of course, and then add a 10% figure. Is that enough of a challenge for you over a 1 year period? Hopefully it is. Maybe you want to break it down by month. How do you quantify that goal? The goal should also be action and oriented. So when you're writing down the goal, and we're going to have you write down your goals, you don't want to start the goal with a to be verb. So what do I mean by that? You want to use an action verb, right? A bad example would be more consistent in blogging. So just being, okay, there's no way to measure that, folks. A measurable action-oriented verb would be write 2 blog posts per week. And if you wanted to be more specific, you could say write 2 500-word blog posts per week, right? So you want to make sure that you're using action-oriented words. Also, the goal should feel a little bit risky. The goal should be in your discomfort zone. You should be challenging yourself a little bit. None of us are dead. Otherwise, we wouldn't be listening to the Zoom class. And so it's important for us to be in our discomfort zone. So over a 1 year period, you could say, increase sales by 3%. Okay, ho-hum. Versus increase sales by 15%. Now, does that make your heart race a little bit or make you feel palms feel sweaty? It should, but that's okay. You want to shoot for something that's doable, but also challenges you to be bigger. At the end, if you've achieved your goal, you're going to be at a totally different place, mentally, emotionally, and physically, and better prepared to lead. This is a leadership group, and obviously we want to make sure that you're getting prepared and stepping up for leadership. The goal also needs to be timed. You need a deadline, right? So I could say lose 20 pounds, which is kind of woohoo out there, right? Or lose 20 pounds by April 1st, 2020. So put a deadline on it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the steps, each one of the actionable steps. We're not going to talk about that today. Today, we're only going to talk about annual goals, right? This is a big topic, and we can break it down in many, many different ways. That's what I'm going to be doing on the 12-week Zoom class. Okay, the goal should also be exciting, personally exciting or compelling to you. So take a 1-week vacation is kind of a bad example. I mean, a 1-week vacation is not bad at all, but how about take a 1-month sabbatical trip to Spain to build my team in a new market? Now, does that make your heart kind of flutter and feel good? Woohoo! Now, I know somebody, one of my team members who's planning on taking their entire family on a trip around the United States in an RV. And I'm not exactly sure of the time frame, but let's say it's for a single year. But that's the kind of thing where if everybody's working towards that goal and everybody is on board, can be super exciting. But you want to make sure that you maintain the excitement for the goal. The goal should be exciting for everyone, right? So if you're taking a 1-month sabbatical to, I don't know, Russia, makes your spouse want to jump out a second-story window, don't pick Russia, folks. Pick another place that will make your whole family feel happy and whole. Okay, also your goal needs to be relevant and appropriate to your season of life. Now, this sounds so basic, honestly, but I cannot tell you how many times I get on the phone with someone from the team and they start to tell me something about something that didn't work for them. And when I begin to explain to them why it didn't work, usually the first sentence has something to do with why it's in conflict with the season of life they were in. So assuming in this example, a mother of 3 with a newborn baby, right? So a goal that would be not good would be go back to school and get my MBA. It's not the best season of her life for this. Now, there are always exceptions to every rule, but we really want to think about what season in our life are we. Now, for example, I'm a mother of 2 teenage kids, and I could decide to, I don't know, enter a pie eating contest. Now, it's probably not a great idea for me to A, be eating so much pie, B, to be practicing something that I don't really have any business practicing. Number 3, it's not going to be great for my health. Number 4, and on and on and on. So if the goal is not relevant to me and my life, it's not a goal worth pursuing. The problem is that sometimes we look at somebody else's goals and we see them pursuing something and we want to do the same thing. I'm going to ask you to stick in your lane and make sure that you're pursuing the goals that you need to pursue. This is something that I've talked about many times. And when I do mentoring calls, as you know, I do mentoring calls almost every week. A lot of what I talk about is stay in your lane, stay in your lane, stay in your lane. Relevance also has to do a little bit with comparison, because we sometimes look at social media or other Facebook and Instagram are the biggest culprits, and we see what other people are doing. And we think to ourselves, I want to do what they're doing. The other thing that we do is we look at another person who's way ahead of us in terms of their training or their experience or where they are in their life, and we think, I want to be just like them. But the problem is you may be on step 5 of a journey towards being, quote unquote, just like them, and they're on step 100. What you can't do is look at them and say, I'm going to zoom past those 85 steps, because part of what goal setting has to do with is becoming more mature and more aware in what it is that we are doing. So a better choice for this mother with a newborn baby might be complete an online course in strategic planning. Why? Because you can get online when you have a newborn baby. You can basically set goals for yourself, but your time is much more flexible if you're taking a course online. At the completion of the course, do you feel that you've completed something? Absolutely. Can you take another course? Yes. Can you choose whatever course you want? Yes. Can you do free versus paid? Yes. Have you learned something? Yes. And so that's the whole point. We want to be challenging ourselves to move ahead, but not comparing ourselves with the person next to us. I hope that's super clear, even though I've said it 50 times already. Okay, so goals should be one of 2 types. They should be an achievement goal, which is a one-time accomplishment like completing a project, paying off credit card, doing your personal best in a half marathon, or a habit goal, something you can track each and every day. So a habit goal might be drink 64 ounces of water every day. 64 ounces is about 4 liters, folks. So 4 liters of water every day. Now you could say 4 liters of water, I'm never gonna do that. That's okay. That's not your goal. But being hydrated and drinking more water can do a couple of things for us. It can help us with our skin. It can help us with our digestion. It can also help us with weight loss, because water tends to fill up our stomach, so maybe we're not eating as much. It can also discourage a habit of drinking sugary drinks. If you're in the habit of drinking sugary drinks, water is going to be a lot healthier for you. So doesn't matter what your goal is. It doesn't matter if your goal is in conflict with someone else's goal, unless it's a member of your immediate family. So don't do something that's going to make your family mad, and try to discuss your goals with your family members. So here's a quick roller bottle blend for goal setting. 5 drops wild orange, 3 drops lemon chamomile, 3 drops cedarwood, 1 drop each of rosemary and peppermint with a little bit of fractionated coconut oil, and you can keep this with you. You can roll it on your pulse points. Of course, you can use things like Cheer or Motivate that we already have. You can use Elevation. You can use any of the citrus oils because they are really good for you. You should absolutely be taking your supplements on a regular basis. If you're going to be goal setting, you want to feel at your best. But this is just a quick roller bottle blend, and maybe you want to put a sticky on it that says rock your goals, and that's another reminder, okay, that this year I'm really knocking certain things out of the park. Okay, here's another few diffuser blends from doTERRA. Renew and Refresh with ginger, lemon, and lime. Yum. Goal setting, frankincense, peppermint, and ylang ylang. Motivation, you can take your 3 drops of Motivate, add peppermint and rosemary. Planning, lemongrass, tangerine, and spearmint. I actually like that last one a lot. I may try that in my diffuser in the office. Whatever you're using to set your goals in terms of your essential oils, it's all good. We just want to make sure that you're using your oils, you're challenging yourself to use your oils, and you're getting things done on a regular basis and keeping yourself healthy. This is not about killing yourself to reach some mythical height that you've never been able to do before. This is about breaking down what you would like to do on a regular basis. Okay. So now, I do not want you to underestimate the power of written goals. They are super important. So Dr. Gail Matthews, a psychology professor at Dominican University in California, conducted a study on setting and writing goals. There were 267 participants, and she found that the people with written goals were 42% more likely to achieve them. But we're going to break that down a little bit because it's not just about writing on a piece of paper and then throwing it in a corner and never looking at it again. Here were the interesting results. Dr. Matthews actually had 5 different groups, and the results were really interesting. So the groups were, number 1, participants in group 1 were simply asked to think about their goals, what they wanted to accomplish over the next 4 weeks, and then asked to rate that goal on the following dimensions: difficulty, importance, the extent to which they had the skills and resources to accomplish the goal, their commitment and motivation to the goal, whether or not they had pursued this goal before, and if so, their prior success. So pretty detailed, right? Number 2, the groups in groups 2 through 5 were asked to write or type onto an online survey their goals, and then to rate their goals on the same dimensions. Group 3 was also asked to formulate action commitments. So they wrote down the goals, they categorized the goals, and some action verbs there, right? Group number 4 was asked to formulate action commitments and send their goals and action commitments to a supportive friend. Okay, folks, I am your supportive friend, but your other supportive friends could be your upline, your downline, your spouse, your best friend, your mother, your sister. It doesn't have to be me, but having that connection is super important. And group number 5 was asked to formulate action commitments and send their goals, action commitments, and weekly progress reports to a supportive friend. This is what we call what? An accountability partner. Participants in this group were also sent weekly reminders to email the quick progress reports to their friend. So who would you say did the best? Let's take a look. This was the results. So the unwritten goals, not so great. The written goals, a little bit better. Written with actions, good. But interestingly enough, written alone did better than written with actions because they didn't take any action. Now, number 4, commitment to a friend. See how high we jump when we begin to commit to another person? And that's true of everything in our life, right? We don't just keep these things in our head. We actually commit and we interact with another person. Then 5, the person who did the progress reports. That's why we have goal-setting journals. That's why we write, what are we doing on a daily basis to move towards our goal? Okay, so written goals are more powerful than thought about goals, but the graph above showed that the more active you are in setting and keeping your goals, the higher your chances of success, which means written goals are more powerful than thought about goals, but it's not just about writing them down. You're fooling yourself if you think you're suddenly going to achieve a goal because you write it on a piece of paper and then walk away and forget about it. So a goal without a plan, my friends, is just a wish. And I can wish for a lot of things, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to achieve them. Okay, so let's talk about a 90-day achievement cycle. You know that on this call, we've talked about 90 days, 90 days, 90-day plans again and again and again. We've talked about it with LRP. We've talked about it with our business. But by focusing on a 90-day achievement cycle, you aren't overwhelmed by planning and tracking 12 months at a time. And this is important when we're talking about goal setting. And that's why I'm going to be doing goal setting for the next 12 weeks. I want whoever it is who gets in on this goal setting Zoom. And if you can't join today, that's fine. Hop in next week. Hop in 2 or 3 weeks. You're going to learn something that's going to help them. Because we work in sales, we can clearly see in which direction our team and our life is moving. Because if you're not seeing the results that you want in your team, you have to look back at what you were doing 2 and 3 months ago, right? Were you maybe not working as hard? Were you distracted by something? Did you not have enough enrollments? Were you not keeping in contact with your team? What were you doing 2 or 3 months ago that your results today are not exactly what you want? So what is it that we're not getting done that we need to get done so we see the results in 2 or 3 months from now? Okay, so I want you to do the following. You're going to write a smarter goal or set of goals, and you're going to DM me your goal or goals, okay? I've had a ton of people write these to them. You can send it by Facebook Messenger. You can send me a text message. You can put it in a chat. You can put it on WhatsApp. You can send it through Facebook or Instagram, whatever it is that you want. Email me. I want to hear your goals. And then you're going to go to Elena Jordan on Instagram or Facebook and follow. If you're already following, you want to post a comment about what you learned today. So what did you learn in this particular Zoom class? And if you didn't see the Zoom class live, but you referred somebody to it, and let them, the taped version is just fine. And number 3 is I want you to tag 2 friends, because this is not just about us achieving our goals. This is about us helping and motivating others to achieve our goals, because everyone has goals, folks, whether it's helping their kid pay for college, whether it's buying a new car, maybe it's renovating or redecorating their house, maybe it's helping their child who's having difficulty in school. We all have goals. And what I don't want you to do is to get stuck in that caretaker role. And as women, we tend to get stuck in it. And it can be just, I don't know, cooking, cleaning, doing the next thing, cooking, cleaning, doing the next thing. I want you to make sure that you're challenging yourself. There are a few of you out there that I just see in your eyes. You need to challenge yourselves, because this can be a wonderful 3 months for you. And if your next 3 months means that you're going to be on the beach with family, and I'm talking to some of you, you know who you are, that's okay. But I'm going to challenge you within those 3 months to still have some sort of a goal. Maybe it's reading to your grandbabies every night. Maybe it's setting up maybe doing a water exercises for yourself. But you want to make sure that you're challenging yourself on a regular basis. Okay, last week, as you know, it was my birthday. That's not my actual birthday cake, but that's kind of an image of what I was doing. We had a challenge, and what we asked people to do was, in honor of this month being both mine and Julia's birthday month. So I don't know if you know this, but my assistant Julia's birthday is tomorrow. Happy birthday, Julia. Every week we're having a prize giveaway that any of you can win with different prizes every week. So this is the prize for last week, and it's already done, but you're going to get the same type of prize. Not same type, but another wonderful prize. Last week we were giving away a mini pink mango diffuser and my favorite oil to 1 lucky winner. So here's what you got to be entered into the raffle giveaway. Post your favorite diffuser recipe in the comments below. Follow Elena Jordan, and then tag 2 of your friends in one of the Instagram posts. So we're going to be doing this over the next 4 weeks. So week 1 is done. We're going to be posting the new challenge today, whatever it is to win. And we'll be posting the winners on Facebook and on Instagram. We'll be checking back on Monday, meaning today, to pick the winner of the challenge and to give away. So get your phones out and follow. The giveaway closes Monday, June 10th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So actually, so you could join this particular challenge right now if you're really fast by the time we get off. If you want to get on your phones and do it on Instagram, you can get on there right now, and the winner will be announced by 3 p.m. So for all my friends in Southeast Asia, I think you'll be asleep because it'll be 3 a.m. in the morning. So that's what's going on every week. I had been talking about prizes and giveaways, and the prizes are going to vary every week, so it should be a lot of fun. So this week it's the little mango diffuser and my favorite oil. I don't know if you know what my favorite oil is, but the winner will know, and we'll be announcing it. Okay, so the Wellness Box program, again, your monthly LRP for, this should say June. You're going to go to elenayourdan.com. On the homepage, scroll down and see the image. The images are going to change every month, and they'll be calculated to be at least 150 PV. We'll be editing and teaching about the monthly LRP for your market. Interesting about this particular program is that we're seeing people that are using it with their teams and building their power of 3. That idea of 150 PV is helping them build their LRP. So this is super important. Please use the images. Steal them, screenshot them, whatever it is. I just want you to be on board, and we're going to be talking more and more about the Wellness Box program each and every week. Okay, finally, remember, you are amazing, and I'm so happy that you're here. For those of you who are out celebrating or having a break with family, enjoy it. For those of you who are already on vacation for the summer months, I know there's some mothers already posting, my kids are out of school. Have a great time, but set some goals for these 3 months. I want you to have a really powerful summer. And this might be the time that you get to spend a little more time on yourself, whether it's exercising or eating right, or just writing down those goals. Maybe just the act of beginning to think about them can be really powerful for you. And then finally, thank you for being here, and have a wonderful week. And so what I'm going to do now is, actually, before I take down the screen, I think what I'm going to be doing is picking the winners of today's, I always pick a winner online. And so we're going to pick today's winner. And as usual, we always have a giveaway. Today's giveaway is going to be, what are we giving away now? I think we're going to be giving away a peppermint today, because peppermint is terrific for motivation and also to keep you on track and to keep us all awake, right? Okay, let me stop the share. Okay, everyone. I see we're a little bit of a few fewer people online today. I think part of that has to do with the fact that it's vacation time in Singapore, but also because I was a little late today. I'm sorry that I was late. So let me pick our winners, and then we'll go, and hopefully you'll all be setting your goals. Actually, let me stop the recording.